Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of The Downs, where we are playing more Final Fantasy XIV. Last episode we finished off the MSQ and I think 7.2, which unlocked us the final custom delivery person that I can unlock now, which we will go and work on unlocking now. Begging your pardons, madam, but you're an adventurer, are you not? I approach you on the off chance that you are acquainted with one of your distinguished fellows, a great hero by the name of Rinode. What, you are none other than the legendary Rinode, liberator of nations and scourge of the Empire? How kind of Kami are to guide your steps this way. I have been tasked with finding you, you see, by the lady-in-waiting of Suido. My blue brethren and I are assisting the good folk there in a certain endeavor, and they have been experiencing some difficulties. In seeking to address said difficulties, the lady-in-waiting wishes to entreat your aid. I should be willing. If you should be willing, I ask that you come to Tamamizu. The lady awaits. Tamamizu. Who should it be but Kurenai herself? Then you came. Deep in my heart I knew that you would, but I am no less glad for it. To spare you the confusion, it is I, Kurenai. As you will doubtless appreciate, 'twould not do for the Ruby Princess to be seen outside the palace, hence my current guise. What brings you to Tamamizu? There is something that I wish to achieve, for which the Kojin's home is an ideal venue. As you well know, our people have long lived in isolation. I would change that. I would have us emerge into the outside world. How did I conceive of this, you may wonder? 'Twas not other than our journey together, Lyn, that sowed a seed in my heart. Such things as I beheld and experienced, even as they filled me with awe, they made me keenly aware of our own wants. In the past, Suido engaged in limited trade with Doma, but that delicate tie was severed with the Empire's violent arrival. Nowadays, a handful of necessities from Tamamizu is our sole link to the world beyond. But with the Imperial menace driven from the Ruby Sea, I thought what better time to venture out of our little bubble once more. However, 'tis far easier said than done. Princess or no, you can't just go and change things as you please. They're hard-headed types who'll fight tooth and nail to keep things as they are, and you've got to win them over, with little help from this adventure here. That's about the short of it, aye? I have to say, it's nice to see Neorgian face at the bottom of the brine. Well met, adventure. I'm Sanana of the House of Splendors. Permit me to introduce Sanana. She came to be with us after her ship foundered in a storm. Our people chanced to find her clinging to Flotsam and brought her to Suido. I'd be fish father if they didn't appear when they did. And so, to repay the debt, I'm helping Kurenai with her goal of opening Suido to the world. Sanana's insights have been most enlightening. In seeking to usher in change, she recommends that we distribute among the citizens such articles from the surface as they will find useful in their daily lives. I had thought to make my case only with words, but indeed a practical item in the hand shall prove far more convincing than any argument I could concoct. If our people are made to know the benefit of trade firsthand, they shall be more willing to embrace change. With no rituals of import requiring the Ruby Princess' attendance in the near future, I came to Tamamizu, some while ago to commence our efforts. Alas, I regret to say we've yet to make any progress. Owing to the shipwreck, I've got no suitable wares on hand, and while the Kojin have been helpful, we're struggling to procure the kind of items needed in Suido. That was when my thoughts turned to you, my friend. As a well-traveled adventurer, I believed that we would benefit from your aid. And to my surprise and delight, not only was Sanana familiar with your name, she told me you are possessed of skills that would indeed serve our cause. Aye, anyone's got anything to do with the house knows Lyn. She's one of the best contributors on our roster. Now, while we don't have ready wares, we did manage to salvage some materials to help you along. Naturally, we don't expect you to work for nothing. In the house fashion, there'll be scripts in it for your troubles. So, you will accept, right? Or you will help, right? Just Lyn's fucking stare of death, like just fucking staring daggers. Look, I realize the house has a reputation, but we're not all ruthless coin-hungry sorts. Not all of the time, anyway. At the end of the day, we're just people, and like most people, we can be driven by altruism. And make no mistake, Suido needs help. Might as well I might be as a place prides itself on self-sufficiency, but reality is grimmer than it seems. Every day, folks are pushed to the limits of survival, and some of them, well, some of them don't make it. It's not our intent to turn Suinasato on its head, transform it into a bustling hub like Kogane, but through trade, lives can be improved, lives can be saved. You have our eternal gratitude. With the two of you standing with us, there is hope yet for our people. Well then, if it's decided, let's all get to work. Haste is of the essence, isn't that right? Indeed, this season sees many of us struck down by a certain illness. We have not an effective treatment, but each year it inevitably claims lives. Well, I'm no healer judging by the symptoms, lack of nutrition's the problem, in which case I might know something that can prevent it. A fortifying tonic, traditionally brewed in Garabania. Lynn would be grateful if you could begin by supplying us with this Garabanian remedy. The people are depending on you. Complete. Cast and delivers unlocked, Kuranai. And this will only take 4 weeks. Not 11. Let's take a gander, shall we? So, custom deliveries, Kuranai. Garabanian remedies. I'm going to need Garabanian remedy components. I'm going to need 3 of these. I think it's just the blue merchant over here that sells these materials. Need 6 of those. Purchase items. Execute order 6. And then let's use my ability to be over leveled to not have to care about paying attention to my craft. There we go. That's good and I make a delivery. Read a block of text. Hand it over. Well, it doesn't really matter that much. I'm gonna need to level up all my crafts at some point anyway. Glad tidings, Lynn. Thanks to the remedy you have been bringing us, even those who took ill were able to recover swiftly. For the first time in recent memory, there have been no severe cases and certainly no deaths. Having experienced firsthand the medicine's efficacy, both our healers and citizens alike have been clamoring for more. Never have I seen my people so happy, so full of hope. Lady Hisui, my dear mother, she too has been feeling unwell. Might there be any more of that remedy still? Glad you come asking earlier. My reply would have been no, but for a blessing Lynn here has just furnished us with more. I shall see that it is delivered to you. Ah, so you are Lynn. I've heard about you. Aye, this is the Count the Adventurer who has been working with Sanada. We owe our good health to their tireless efforts. I should be forthright. I still mistrust outsiders. Many of us do. And yet we are grateful. While we do not yet welcome you as the Ruby Princess does, we offer you our thanks all the same. As the Ruby Princess does. Love to see the looks on their faces when they learn who you really are. Ah, Sanana, you mustn't entertain such thoughts, not even in jest. All know that the Ruby Princess must live out her days within the palace. So has it always been. Should my presence here come to light, the citizens would be up in arms. We can ill afford to have them so distracted. No, I would have my people focus upon only one thing, embracing the outside world. Though they still have a long way to go, we will guide them, one sure step at a time. Supporter of Surasato's emergence. As I yawn. Ho! Hee-haw! Yee-haw! Our people have begun to harbor interest in the outside world. We must nurture that interest by introducing more useful foreign items into their lives. And for the next item, I ask that you bring equipment that might afford us protection against sharks. In the past, such things were unnecessary, as the people of Isari kept the creature's population at bay through regular and large-scale fishing expeditions. However, such expeditions were largely abandoned under Imperial rule. As a result, shark numbers have multiplied to plague-like proportions, and in their competition for limited prey, the creatures have grown uncommonly savage. In order to keep our citizens safe, I would commence regular patrols through the surrounding waters. Alas, our guards are ill-equipped for such a dangerous task. Against the shark's tough skin, their weapons are as playthings. Through the Blukojin, we acquired blades of steel from Kugane. Yet while these are indeed deadly sharp, their weight renders them unwieldy, not to mention they quickly go to rust. What we need, Lin, is a weapon that shall neither rust nor be stopped by shark skin. With your knowledge of techniques from above, could you please furnish us with such an item? Yes, my lady. Right, and well, yeah, I'm gonna cut it over here because it's gonna be another week until we get more. So I'll be right back. I'm back after yet another week of just painstakingly waiting. Okay, it's not that bad, but I am waiting a lot. Wouldn't really call it super painstakingly, but I would definitely say that I find it annoying. Don't like dailies or weeklies in my games. Just predatory behavior. Anyway. As anticipated, our guards were very pleased with their new harpoons. What I did not anticipate, however, was that our youths would also take a shine to them. They are quite fascinated by its foreign construction. And is a source of delight for you, Hisui, placing one's trust in land dwellers? Cannot think of a greater folly. It will not do for this sentiment to spread. Who the heck is talking? Oh. Lord Chikan, and Lord Shiosai besides, to what do I owe the honor? It has come to my attention that our citizens are being led astray, seduced first by outsider medicines and now outsider weapons. I labor to comprehend how the princess could permit this. It is bad enough that the guards have taken up these harpoons. Now our youth desire them too. Mark my words, this can end in naught but bloodshed. Lest we forget, both the Confederacy and the Kojin were dragged into Doma's bloody conflict against the Empire. Should their leader, this Lord Hien, learn that our people are arming themselves, in his insatiable thirst for war he may well come banging on our gates to demand our participation. Surely you see the danger. With respect, my lords, may I remind you that this is not the palace. There are eyes and ears all around us. Foreign eyes and ears. I would remind you also of the agreement that you and your fellow elders would watch how the citizens respond to Her Grace's plan. As impartial observers, your words can ill be described as impartial. We have naught to gain by cowering inside our little bubble. Nay, by shutting out the rest of the world in the name of tradition, we but consign ourselves to a slow demise. You presume to lecture me, Hisui? You, who know little and less of worldly matters, whose sole purpose is to attend Her Grace? For a moment, though, I thought the princess herself was addressing me. You have ever shared her looks, and it seems you have taken on her mannerisms as well. Yes. It must be all the years serving Her Grace I have, come to know her mind as though it were my own. Well, suppose this is but a fleeting infatuation with a novel and new. Given time, the people will remember the dangers that lurk without and come to their senses. Now there's a man you can love to hate. I take it he's the conservative-in-chief? You might say that, and yet, independent of his influence, many others harbor the selfsame fear. The fear that by throwing open Suino Sato's gates, he would be swallowed up in a maelstrom of foreign agenda. When a simple, bloody harpoon can trigger such a fearful reaction, your people really have no stomach for conflict. Well, no one with any sense would, but this is just unhealthy. Indeed, 'tis an irrational fear, ingrained over generations and perpetuated by willful ignorance. If we are to free ourselves from it, we must have the chance to know the world above. Satisfaction up! There's gonna be another cutscene here. Your Grace, if I may, there is a particular item that I would request of Mistress Lin. But of course, Shiosai. None among us is more familiar with our people's daily lives than you. What is it that ails them? As your Grace knows, we dwell at the bottom of the sea by virtue of the Kojin's enchantments. Yet, though we have air to breathe and live, our home has ever been a bitterly cold place. Due to our closed environment, we cannot avail ourselves of the benefits of fire, and so we have had to endure, covering ourselves in such garments as we possess. While this may suffice for the young and healthy, the old and infirm struggle simply to survive. Indeed, the cold has ever been a trial for us, yet I have heard of a place above far colder still, a land of endless winter where ice falls instead of rain. There a great nation thrives, and its people must have efficient ways of coping in that frozen clime, such as garbs of transcendent warmth. That's gotta be curses, I reckon. I've never been that far out of Ul'dah, at least not until now, but you've definitely been there, right, Lin? A more dependable adventurer I have never known. I shall let you all return to your work then, by your leave. Permit me to echo Shiosai's sentiment. Truly, we are blessed to have a dependent ally such as you. I shall look forward to seeing the fruits of your labors. Take my fruit. Alright, yeah, I'll be back in, like, you know, a bit. Alright, I'm back for another week of Kurenai deliveries. My lady, take this stuff that I created for you especially. As I level up. I love the cutoff. It's the immediate cutting off. There we go. Let's see. What do you have to say now? I'm pleased to say that your winter wares have been very well received. The old and infirm are singing their praises, and those around them cannot help but be impressed as well. The items from above have improved our people's lives greatly, and Shiosai is making certain that the elders are aware of this fact. It cannot be long now, Lin. Soon we will...
That will be enough, Princess. I do not know who is speaking. Oh, it's the old guy. Oh no.
Jikkan and Hisui too. Your Grace, Lord Jikkan, he came without warning and forced me to reveal everything.
Her demeanor when last we spoke struck me as odd, and so I put a little test to the Ruby Princess. Imagine my surprise when I learned that she was in fact the lady-in-waiting, posing as our wise and noble ruler.
'Twas my ploy, and mine alone. I submit myself to any punishment you deem fit. But this is no place to discuss such matters. Let us return to Suno Sato. If you would permit me one request, however, I would have a moment with my two companions.
Very well. I shall go on ahead, and though I do not think you will run, Hisui will return with me.
But Princess, please forgive me. There is naught to forgive. 'Twas I who put you up to it. Go on. I shall join you now.
Man, female aura just hit different. It just hit different. Yeah, my bias is, yeah.
Are you right, Kurenai? And so it comes to this. The risk was ever present, and yet the disappointment, it is almost too much to bear.
Yeah. Woohoo. Yeah, that's nice. Who does see that one coming?
Forgive me, this is no time to wallow in despair. I must remain focused on our objective. Knowing Jikan, he will exploit my transgressions and turn it against our efforts at reform. We cannot allow it to end this way. My friends, it is not my desire to involve you in my personal dilemmas, but I can turn to no other. Pray accompany me back to Suenosato.
Free the auras. Free the white-horned auras. Or the rain, as they are known in scientific terms. There are your Grace. You certainly took her time. But to look at the two of you side by side. You truly are the spitting image of one another. Small wonder you were able to deceive us all this time. But to the matter at hand, Princess, you of all people need not be reminded of our loss. Your place is at the palace, and you shall return forthwith. Let this mark an end to any foolish talk of flirting with the surface.
Wait, Lord Chicken. I have broken our laws and duly accept my fate. This, however, should not be confused with the endeavors to open Suenosato to the world. Thanks to Sanana and Lin, we have been able to ease some of the hardships our people have long endured. Had we insisted upon our adherence to tradition, their suffering would have continued. I ask you to look to the past, Lord Chikan. There was a time when our ancestors roamed the grasslands as nomads. But refusing to be hobbled by tradition, they began to trade. They befriended the Kojin, from whom they acquired new knowledge that allowed them to build a home under the sea. Our forefathers chose change. Had they not done so, we would not be who we are now. And now, as a ruler, I judged it past time for another change. Our people suffer needlessly. If it is within our power to ease that suffering, is it not our duty to do so?
A noble sentient and a short-sighted one. By focusing on immediate gratification, you would lead us blindly into the abyss. The people could not possibly desire such a thing. Many of our citizens feared the outside world, it is true, but owing to Her Grace's efforts, they are beginning to reconsider their long-held views. Lest you doubt their motives, they are driven by far more than a desire for immediate personal gratification. Nay, they have the future of Suenosato foremost in their minds, for such is the passion that they felt from their ruler, though they knew not that she walked among them. They are misguided. They know not the horrors that lie beyond.
Horror this, danger that, as a representative of the dreadful beyond. Lin, why don't you give him a piece of your mind?
You fear what you do not know. Yeah.
Well then, the best cure for that is knowledge. And nothing's better than the first-hand sort. That's to say, you need to get out there and see things with your own eyes. What a wonderful proposal. We may speculate endlessly, but there's only one way to know whether or not our fears are founded. Lord Chicken, let us, you and I, venture forth to see the world.
Madness! If either you or I were to meet with misfortune, God forbid. You needn't worry on that account, my lord. This adventure is the selfsame hero who purged the palace of wraiths and saved Lady Hisui. You could not be in safer company, here or anywhere else.
Lord Chicken, this is my final request to you. Come with me. See the world with your own eyes. Should it be as you believe and fraught with danger, I shall abandon my dream and forever hold my peace.
Very well. The voice is changing like crazy. Very well, Your Grace. I shall hold you to that promise.
Then it's decided. Now, for the choice of destination, I recommend Kugane. It's close by, and you'll find people of all nations and creeds there, mingling and doing business. My place is beside the princess. Please allow me to come with you. I've certainly got no objections to that. Before we head out, though, it'd be best if you three changed into something a little more conventional. Lucky for you, I've got just the thing. Then, go on ahead to the Ruby Price. We'll join you once I've seen to their attire.
The Ruby Price? Come on, dude. Come on, brother. You're just gonna hit me with that annoying ass to reach place. Whatever. It's fine. It's fine, you guys. We're almost done with Stormblood. It's fine. I mean, there'll be something you Shadowbringers that I've probably forgotten. They're like, ugh. Da, 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 da. But I will say I like doing the Beast Talk quest over here in Ruby Sea. It has always been really annoying because, well, there are two Aetherytes, but they're really close to each other. I feel like game designers should really think about where they put their Aetherytes a little bit more. But whatever, I'm not a game designer, so what do I get to say? Let me guess, kimono? Sorry for the wait, they're ready now. Who'd have seen that one coming? Or yukata, I still don't know the difference. Ah, never did I dream I would one day don foreign attire. I feel like a different person. This excess of fabric would slow us in the water, but I suppose that is of little concern to land dwellers. We have as children with new toys. I, for one, could not cast aside these barbarians' rags and return to my own soon enough. Forgive me, Lord Chicken, I must confess. The prospect of setting foot in a city on the surface excites me. But I realize we are not here for amusement. I shall try to remain focused. What think you then? Do we not look strange in these garments? I took a liberty of changing my hair to suit. I'm glad. I feared you would appear like the fish out of the water we are. Right then, the idea being to improve your lives through trade, I reckon we start by going where the trading happens, the Rakuza district. We defer wholly to you, Sonana. Let us take out this Rakuza district. Well, looks like we're in for a long haul for this one. I didn't expect, like, it's so weird with these custom delivery quests. Sometimes they're, like, sometimes nothing happens, and sometimes they're like, here, let me give you the entire story of... Ah, yes, of course. I played this game for 3 minutes, and there's a half-naked person running around in my screen. Ah, what a life we live. Such a vibrant place, overflowing with life. Never before have I seen so many shops all in a row. Ah, it's all so fresh and new. I'm afraid to blink lest I miss something. Ooh. Might I be a traveling merchant? Procuring merchandise to take back to his homeland? Whence does he hail, I wonder? Ooh, and over there. Pray excuse her grace, long as she dreamt of this moment. Now, this is just one aspect of the outside world, and you might want the same for Suenosata. You mightn't want the same for Suenosata. But I dare say this turns your preconceptions on their heads. Indeed, news of all races and nations appear to be present, to be gathered here. And there are countless countless kinds, why would you say it like that, of wares being offered, many of which I have no name for it. It is eye-opening. With its port open to the world, Kugane has been urged by the free flow. I can't read. Help! The free flow of trade to become rich, the rich and prosperous city we see before us. Of course, where people of disparate cultures come in contact, some friction is to be expected, but with due caution, that energy can be harnessed as a force for prosperity. It is as you say, Your Grace. People of the surface are not all barbarians who wage only war. By daring to venture out into the world, Suenosata could stand to gain much. That being said, I harbor one grave concern, and until such concern is addressed, I cannot offer my support to your endeavor. Ah, what is it now? Let's hear it. Long as we have kept to ourselves, I believe as ill prepared to engage with the outside world. We are, were we to open our gates now, we would find ourselves flooded with wares from without, wares superior to our own. upon which we would grow dependent. What wealth we have would be drained away, leaving us impoverished. We must have measures in place to prevent this outcome. What, that's it? Well, then you've got nothing to worry about. See, the beauty of trade is that it works both ways. All you need is a product of your own, something unique to Suinasato, that can compete with anything else out there. 'Tis a wonderful idea, I shouldn't doubt, yet I cannot help but worry. For generations we have lived in austerity. What could we possibly offer to the people of the service? Of the servers, yes, of the surface, who would know every luxury. You're not getting cold fins on me, are you? Don't worry, you have Lynn and yours truly, you're experts on all things to do with the outside world. We'll help think of something, isn't that right? Yes. I like how she stood there for a second, like, just processing. Very well. While you strive to conceive a suitable product, Your Grace, I shall turn a blind eye to your unofficial activities. Should your efforts prove fruitless, however, you shall abandon your endeavor. Thank you for granting me this opportunity, Logican. And thank you also, my friends. I'm truly blessed to you. Blessed to know you. Enough of that. Save it when we've succeeded. Now then, our signature product isn't going to think itself up. Let's head back to Tamamizu and get to work. Tamamizu. Subarashi. Doma. But the matter of opening Suinasato to the world remains unsettled. There is something I would say to you. I have served her grace since she was but an infant. In all these years, never have I seen her face light up with such unbridled joy. For showing that to me, you have my heartfelt thanks. Typical Grandpa. Could bet this man isn't even that old, but, you know. I make this choice. Then my thanks again for accompanying us to Kugane. As has been decided, we seek a product that might represent Suinasato, such as my next request to you. En route back to Tamamizu, Sanana and I discussed the subject at some length. We believed that a marriage of our two worlds would be ideal. The bounty of the Red Sea, of the Ruby Sea, worked with the techniques of the surface. Aye, we take a treasure of the deep, only colonized people have access to, and give it a foreign touch. There's something to gain for everyone. With a concept like that, we're bound to come up with a winning product. We just need to find something to base that product on. If it's to make a mark of on the world, it has to be inherently valuable. I'm talking jewelry and the like. It's water-sealed objects that may suit such a purpose, but I fear they are not of quality, of a quality to impress the folk of the surface. I can't fucking speak. Anyway. In the course of our fishing and foraging, we often come upon pearl-producing clams and deep-sea crystals, but with our energies recently focused wholly upon survival, we do not pay them much mind. Pearls and crystals, you say? Akona, those things would be perfect. Truly, I mean, they are certainly pretty, but they pale in comparison to such dazzling items as I beheld in Kugane. I'd wager that's because you've only ever seen your pearls and crystals in the ocean's dim light. On the surface, beneath the sun, they turn 100 times as bright. And once Lyn's worked her magic on them, they'll become signature products to turn heads the world over. Pride and joy of Suinasato. Yes. Well, you've given me newfound hope, my friends. I shall trust to your abilities, then, and await your handiwork with bated breath. Alright, that's it. I'll be back after another week. Yeah, nice one, trying to copy my role, which is crafter. Anyway, be right back. Alright, I'm back for another week of custom deliveries. This time we're actually going to be finishing well, all the custom deliveries actually of Stormblood, so we'll have to think about this for a while. But I still have the Dome and Enclave to do for another couple of weeks, so the weeklies are not gone yet, and I doubt that they will anytime soon. I took a liberty of showing your people the signature products you have been bringing us. It seemed appropriate, seeing as it is to represent their home. All were in awe of the foreign techniques employed in its creation, and full many of them were inspired to contribute like items of their own.
The quality doesn't compare to yours, of course, but it's none too shabby either. As a matter of fact, it's good enough for the house to deal in. By my reckoning, we've got enough hands to meet anticipated demand. Assuming you're willing. Truly? If the house's plunders would be willing to stock our product, we would be honored to supply them. Glad to hear it. I must confess, though, I've been eyeing ways to turn a profit out of this for a while now. Grateful as I am for my life, I couldn't call myself a trader if I ignored the opportunity for an exclusive supply deal. Oh, is that the way of it? You did not give me that impression in the least. Heh, you still have lots to learn about business, Princess. I'll have to teach you good and proper. Else you're liable to be eaten alive out there.
You're all here. Good. I've come to offer an apology.
Well, if it isn't Jikan, an apology, you'd say. I take it you've seen all the good that's come of Lynn's handiwork?
Indeed, I've been observing our citizens. Never have I seen them so invigorated, so alive. Their passions enkindled by the prospect of having a product to call their own. As it stands, I believe that Suino Sato would not only survive, but thrive, to emerge into the world. This brings me to my apology. My fear of the unknown had blinded me to many things, not least of all to our people's potential. I see this now, as do my fellow elders, and I speak for all of us when I say that we would be grateful for your continued support of our Grace's cause.
We are as newly hatched fish, yet trying to find our way in a great ocean. I, too, ask for your continued support, though I myself can no longer be involved in this endeavor. Ever since my charade was exposed, I have been prepared for this moment. Though I am grateful for being indulged these extra days of freedom, it is past time that I return to my place in the palace.
With regards to that, Your Grace, it is my firm belief that the one among us, that game is ruined, like the internet, among us who harbors the greatest passion for the outside world should continue to collaborate with our visitors.
Indeed, Lord Jikan, I doubt that you and your fellow elders shall find a suitable replacement.
For someone who advocates the need for change, Your Grace bends all too easily to tradition when it concerns yourself. There's no need to find a replacement, for who harbors greater passion from the outside world than you?
Well, but the law.
Rest assured, your lady-in-waiting has expressed her willingness to continue ruling in your stead. Your presence will still be required at functions of import, but outside of those times you are free to continue as you are.
Are you certain of this?
Full certain, Your Grace. Remain with Sanana and Lin. Learn well from them. For the future of Suino Sato depends on it.
Man, I need to work on my cable management. Some of my cables are coming loose. Yippee!
Satisfaction up! Shining light to the world. So
Through your efforts, people of Suino Sato have come to embrace the outside world. It seems, however, the Kurunai has a different sort of favor to ask of you. Wait, is it just another cutscene? Yeah.
Yes!
To finally see Suino Sato embracing the world without is nothing short of a dream come true. I cannot thank you enough. Even Jikan's a staunch supporter of the cause now. Let's keep up the good work. So, what kind of wares should we bring in next? There's something I have had in mind for a time. As it's not urgent in nature, I had set it aside until such time as we had addressed our citizens' more pressing needs. In our libraries, there exists a tome that describes a continent floating in the firmament, an enigmatic place called the Sea of Clouds, said to be home to countless treasures. I should be grateful if you could bring me one such treasure. It would serve as a token, I believe, of the vastness of the world, a reminder to our people to turn their gaze ever outward. Come on, come now, Princess. You just want to see the treasure for yourself. A claim I shan't refute. And if truth be told, Lin, there's a favor I would ask of you. You'll recall that for our visit to Kagane, I had the opportunity to dress as the locals do. Simply donning the attire provided me with an insight into the culture whence it came. I have since learned of wondrous objects called glamour prisms. Through them, I would be grateful if you could alter the appearance of my garments, thereby allowing me to gain an insight into even more cultures. However strange the method may seem, if it grants me a deeper understanding of the outside world, I am open to it. Should you come upon any likely garments in your travels, I ask that you reserve them for me.
And now we can glamour Kurenai if you want to. But I don't care. Anyway, that is it for this little, that's it for Kurenai's custom little request. And well, the next couple of episodes are still going to be Dome and Enclave related, until we're done with that, and then it's time for Shadowbringers, baby. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this episode, and I'll see you in the next episode. Goodbye.